Are you envious because I am generous? This line from our parable today, who hired the workers at different times of the day, it does seem rather unfair in our human nature that each of them, being hired at different times, would get the same amount. But it was an agreed amount from the beginning, that this is what they would get. I think we have to admit that even at times in our lives, we might feel some envy of others. For instance, when someone we know, or even when it's advertised on the news that someone wins big at the lottery, and we might feel envious. We might even feel envious even though we didn't even buy that lottery ticket. It doesn't matter whether we've participated or not. Sometimes we do get that feeling of envy, that little voice within us that says, it's not fair. I'm not being treated correctly. And that's not at all what this gospel is asking us to consider. It's asking us to consider that generosity of the landowner, the generosity of God. Certainly, from our earliest days of theology, starting with St. Thomas Aquinas, he delineated the 7 deadly sins: pride, envy, gluttony, greed, lust, sloth, and wrath. But conversely, St. Thomas also had in his teaching that there are 7 heavenly virtues that combat those deadly sins: humility, which is opposed to pride; kindness, which is opposed to envy; temperance, which is opposed to gluttony; charity, greed; chastity, opposed to lust; diligence, hard work, against sloth; and patience, which is against the opposite of wrath. And so we consider ourselves in that sense of kindness today, that if we were to admit ourselves to that sense of kindness and generosity, that is really what the landowner of the vineyard was expressing: great kindness to all, without regard to whether they worked 12 hours, 2 hours, 7 hours. It's a sense of kindness. That's our call today, to be kind. Lord, I do sin, and I honestly admit that I have some envy in my heart. Thank you for helping me to see this, and help me now to surrender, to give it over to you. Please replace it with a sincere gratitude for the abundant grace and mercy you bestow on others. And you also bestow it on me. Let me always remember that you are my shepherd, and with you I shall not want.